8871. Constitution. Конституция. Constitution. They adopted a new constitution. Они одобрили новую конституцию. They adopted a new constitution. Contact. Контакт. Contact. I have lost contact with him. Я потерял контакт с ним. I have lost contact with him. Container. 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 I store the food in a container. Я храню еду в контейнере. I store the food in a container. Context. Контекст. Context. These words are taken out of context. Эти слова вырваны из контекста. These words are taken out of context. Continent. Континент. Continent. They traveled across the continent. Они путешествовали по всему континенту. They traveled across the continent. Continental. Континентальный. Continental. He works for a continental airline. Он работает на континентальную авиалинию. He works for a continental airline. Contract. Контракт. Contract. They agreed a new contract. Они согласовали новый контракт. They agreed a new contract. Contrast. Контраст. Contrast. In contrast to you, I live modestly. В контрасте с тобой я живу скромно. In contrast to you, I live modestly. Control. Контроль. Control. I never lost control of myself. Я никогда не терял контроль над собой. I never lost control of myself. Convention. Конвенция. Convention. He gave a speech at the convention. Он выступил с речью на конвенции. He gave a speech at the convention. Примеры. They adopted a new constitution. They adopted a new constitution. I have lost contact with him. I have lost contact with him. I store the food in a container. I store the food in a container. These words are taken out of context. These words are taken out of context. They traveled across the continent. They traveled across the continent. He works for a continental airline. He works for a continental airline. They agreed a new contract. They agreed a new contract. In contrast to you, I live modestly. In contrast to you, I live modestly. I never lost control of myself. I never lost control of myself. He gave a speech at the convention. He gave a speech at the convention.